Okay, I'm going to attempt to demonstrate how to create a louvered door in eCabinets. What I have here is a cabinet without any doors on it, so I'm going to need to put a display door or a set of display doors on this cabinet. That will allow us to take the doors in the part editor and put the louvered profile on it. So let's go into the door editor, and we're going to select our door, which will be a slab display door. I'm going to uncheck has banding and go ahead and select 3/4 maple here and set that as default, and create double door. Now when we go back into main, we can select these doors one at a time and take it into part editor here, which will allow us to do different profiles or cuts. So if I select a door, go into part editor, you can see we have a door here. It's 22¼ inches tall. What I've done is in SketchUp, I use SketchUp to draw this cutter up right here. What I've done earlier was I was doing a test to see if this would actually work and what and all I would have to do. Got this profile here drawn on a 3/4 inch cube that I created, but it's not long enough. It needs to be 17 3/4. I'm using 2¼ inch rails and stiles, so in between here is 17 3/4. So what I've done was I took this. If I double click on that, I can use my move tool to move it up. If I hit my up arrow key and hit control, I can copy that. Then I can rotate that by using my rotate tool. And if I hold down, if I get it in the blue here, I can hold down my shift key and just get on top of this thing and go right straight down and rotate it 90 degrees. And now I need to rotate it in this direction, which will be in the red here. Hold my shift key down. If I hover over this face here and hold my shift key, I can come in here and lock this up. And I need to rotate it 90 degrees that way. Now I can move this to my 0 origin. Again, using my move tool, I'm going to click on this corner. I'm going to hold down or hit my right arrow key to lock it in the red direction and snap it to my home or 0 origin. Now I can hold down or hit my left arrow key to lock it in the green direction. If I rotate properly here, I can snap it right there. Now I drew this up earlier here, so I'm going to go ahead and move this down so I can show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to hit my down arrow key to lock it. As you can see, it's not lining up like it should. So what I had to do was redraw this. Let me hide that. And all I've done was took this one little section here, and I'm going to use my pencil tool to just cut that. Now I can double click and highlight that and right click and erase it. Erase that line, so let's just put that back in here and here. So there's my geometry there that we need, and I know I need to go 17 3/4, so I'm going to put me a guide here at 0, and I'm going to keep it in the red direction by hitting my right arrow key, and I'm going to type in 17 3/4. which is my total length of the cutter. Now if I double click this, use my move tool, click in this upper right hand corner here, hit my right arrow key to lock it in the red direction, hit control to move it. I can move it over to here, and if I type in divide 3, as long as that's still highlighted and I haven't clicked on anything else, when I hit enter it would divide it by 3, but we don't want it divided by 3. We want it divided by 13. So let's do this again. Control, divide by 13, and enter. Now you can see that we have the geometry here. Now all I need to do is use my eraser tool and erase these 3 lines at each intersection here. Undo. And the good thing about SketchUp is that you can undo as many times as you need to up until the last time you save this drawing here. So it's not quite like eCabinets where you only can undo one time, but you can undo up to the last time you saved. So that being said, here's our geometry here. And that's how I got that drawn up. I already have it drawn one time. I'm just going to delete this. I have everything highlighted, so I can just right click and click erase. Now I can go edit, unhide all, and I have my group here that I can export as a Dxf file into eCabinets, and I have a plug-in. It's installed under the Tools menu. It's called Export Dxf to STL. I'm going to export in inches, and I'm going to export lines, and I'm going to go into Users, Public Documents, Download. I have a folder called My DXFs. I'm going to put it under Test Doors, and I'm going to name it Louvered Doors. And let's just do 1. And we need to type in .dxf. That's important. If you don't type in .dxf, it will not export it as a Dxf file. Now you can click on Save, and it tells you that everything's been exported. I'll click OK. Now you can come back into eCabinets, and in your Shape Manager you can load that Dxf file. You just have to find the location that you saved it in, and right here it's Louvered Doors 1, and open, and there's our geometry. I'm going to click on this icon, which is Create Tool. I'm going to create the tool, clicked on the geometry, and click Next. I don't need a diameter. I'm going to save this in My Profile Tools. I'm going to put it under Test Cutters, and I'm going to name it Louvered Door Profile. Save. And I can go ahead and close it. Now we need to create some lines on this door. I'm going to go into the contour editor here, and I'm going to right click. I'm going to create edges. Now I need to offset those edges by a rail and style width, which is 2 1/4. So I'm going to type in 2 1/4, and I just want to move these. I'm going to click on this line and move it over, that line and move it over, this line and move it down. Now I need to trim 2 entities, because all we want is this one line right here, the proper length. I can click on my eraser, my delete tool. I want to delete inside the interset window. Highlight those and get rid of those. Now we have our single line that we can make our profile on. Come back into here, click on our profile tool, our profile icon there. We want to chain. You could do a single. You don't want to work in this case. I'm going to click next, and I'm going to type in, I know I'm in my test cutters here, so I'm just going to type in L to find my louvered door profile tool and view. As you can see, it's already plunged for us. If you want to go deeper, then you just put a negative value here, and it'll go that much deeper. Positive value will go that much higher. Don't need to do either one, so I'm going to click OK. And as you can see, if you click on the eyeball here and hold down the shift key, you can see that we have our louvers and our door, and they all look pretty good. So let's go back to main. Yes, I want to keep the changes. And there's our louvered door on our cabinet. Now one thing you might want to do is go into constraints and constrain these. In another video I'll go over that, but I hope this helps. If you have any questions or comments, just post them, and I'll do my best to help you. Thank you.